The foundation has been around about 13 years, and for most of that time, we've focused on reducing child abuse. We were able to successfully raise over $300 million in funding to reduce these issues. But a couple years ago, we started on a new initiative.
So we wanted to understand from a research perspective, what is the number one most important thing that someone could do to improve their own life and the life of their family? And we just assumed that everybody would have this custom list. So for you, it might be something to do with health, or for this other person, it might be a better career or work-life balance, and everybody would have this customized list.
So we created this trial. We hired participants. We had a bunch of experts that we would go to get the questions that we should ask, and we would go back and forth between the experts and the participants to figure out what is the most important thing that someone could do that would increase the long-term happiness of both them and their loved ones. And it turned out that led us to a really interesting discovery.
The same thing kept coming to the top every single time. It wasn't a custom list at all. It was the same thing. We showed it to scientists and they said, you've just rediscovered what we call toxic stress.
As the experts then started teaching us and showing us the research about toxic stress, it was a stunning experience for us because as coming from engineering backgrounds was hard to believe. It was hard to believe that one thing was making such a huge impact and that it took until just recently for us to discover this.
Toxic stress, this thing that neither of us had heard of, we found out was primarily responsible for most incarcerations, most addictions, most of the poor choices that we make, most of our poor relationships. It's something that's gnawing at each of us right now, this very moment, and we just don't know about it. We've pushed it aside because we didn't have a language or a name to speak about it. But now we know what it is, we can speak about it, and what's most important, we can cure it. It is proven that it can be curable, and we have the steps to start curing toxic stress and reversing its results, which is going to impact many generations to come.
This appears to be by far the most significant thing that will make an impact to both you and your loved ones, you and your future loved ones, your future kids, your future partners. This is, from what we can tell, the thing that will have the single biggest impact.
The foundation now has a lot of initiatives around toxic stress, but a really big important one is education. We want toxic stress and its treatment and cures to be as normal as recycling or airbags or seatbelts, things that we didn't understand 20 years ago but are now just commonplace, accepted, and used every single day. We've spoken with hundreds of experts. We've done thousands of hours of research. And for the first time, we've compiled it all into one place. We've created a course full of video-based lessons to teach you about toxic stress and how to start healing it in your life. And we believe this to be the number one thing that will make huge improvements, not only in your life, but in the life of those around you and for generations to come. So we're excited, we're glad you're here, you're on this journey, and we promise you it'll be worth it.